Let's take a look at how boomerang paint is made. This is probably the most sought of question that I've ever get asked. So, once we get all the paint collected and brought back to our factory, one of the first things that we do is we categorize it into 4 different categories. There's alkyd paint, there's water-based paint, clear coats, and stains. And then we separate the colors in each category. Take water-based paint, red, green, yellow, blue, white, etc. All the colors are separated out. And then finally, each color category gets separated into light, medium, and darks, such that we're pouring all similar shades, like light blues, into 45-gallon drums. Then we mix the drum up, and we take a color spectrometer and we shoot it such that we know exactly what shade of light blue is in exactly that drum. And then we go park that drum in our warehouse. Next comes the production. Let's say we are going to be making light blue. That'd be our cloud. What we do is we ask that color computer, where are all the drums in our warehouse that are close to or help make up the color cloud? So it asks us to go grab these 78 drums, which we do, and we pour it into a large tank. First thing we want to know is what's the quality of paint that's in that drum, in that tank? Well, we do a bunch of different tests to ensure that this paint is as good as a mid-range velvet latex paint. So that mid-range latex paint would retail around $27 a gallon. So we're ensuring that this paint is at least as good as that. Some of the testing that we do is for viscosity, sag, spatter, flow, VOCs, as well as heavy metals. We want to ensure that this is good quality paint. Once it passes all those checks and balances, then we do 2 final tests. One, we make sure the sheen is a low luster washable velvet latex. And finally, we adjust the color once everything's checked and made, and we pour it into gallons, and send it off to you for sale. The boomerang recycled paint label carries a low VOC distinction. What's VOC? VOCs are volatile organic compounds. They're the nasty ingredients in paint that pollute the environment. Well, how is it that after collecting all different brand names of paint and not even being sure of what VOC levels they're at, how is it that we have a low VOC distinction on our label? Well, quite simply, if you open up paint and expose it to the atmosphere, VOCs being a gas escape. They off-gas. So therefore, the longer the paint is exposed to the atmosphere, the lower the VOC level. And that's how boomerang recycled paint has a low VOC distinction. I often get asked, where can you use boomerang recycled paint? Well, my answer is anywhere you use good quality velvet, latex, washable paint. A lot of people that are looking for a real good deal will buy boomerang recycled paint. They're the value-minded people, and they'll come up and they'll probably be asking you the most questions because they're most skeptical about, wow, I can't believe it's so inexpensive, and here you're telling me that it's such a great paint. So they're probably the top buyer of boomerang recycled paint, the value-conscious person. Next, you'll find there's the environmentalist that can't believe that there's a recycled paint on the market, and he's so excited that no matter what the price, he's going to be buying that paint. Then you're going to find that there's probably property managers, contractors, and maybe even some painters that are going to be purchasing the paint. But all in all, anybody can purchase a gallon of boomerang recycled paint. Boomerang recycled paint is the most environmentally friendly paint on the market for many reasons. First and foremost, you look at the millions of liters of paint that are diverted from landfills and incinerations into our production of boomerang recycled paint. Well, that's a good reason. Also, a lot of people ask, well, what about the zero VOC paint? Great for the environment, air quality. Well, you're absolutely right. But we took a look at the study of how much energy it takes in carbon dioxide emissions to manufacture a can of zero VOC paint, and then we compared it to the manufacturing process of boomerang recycled paint. Well, we found that we release 88% less carbon dioxide than a can of zero VOC paint. So for that and the other reasons, boomerang recycled paint is the most environmentally friendly paint on the market. This segment of the video, I'd like to address Boomerang's superior hide, flow, leveling, spreadability, and coverage. Now, I could sit here and talk to you all day about this, but words don't mean very much. I think that we should apply some on the wall. Then you'll see for yourself just how great it looks. Come on, let's do it. You'll find that Boomerang paint spreads on just like any normal paint does. First, saturate the roller. Now, let's apply it on the wall. So one of the things that I'm first impressed about Boomerang was how well it hides. This is a teal dark green wall. This is just a beige going over top of it. And you can see it has almost covered it in one coat. All right, there. I just finished rolling on the first coat of paint. Now, I'm going to wait for about 5 minutes, and one of the things I love about Boomerang paint is that literally I'm going to re-roll that wall when it just tacks up in about 5 minutes. That's called a back roll. And basically what it does is as the wall is tacking up, it lifts the paint back on the wall and it makes it hide and cover perfectly. Finished in one coat. Check it out. Now that you've completed watching the Boomerang Recycle Paint video, you can see that there's many compelling reasons why you should be selling Boomerang paint. Now, will you be selling Boomerang paint to every single person that comes into your paint department? Probably not. Certain people will want definitely certain colors, and other people will want certain sheens or specific paint products. Well, that's fine. At least you can talk confidently to anybody about Boomerang Recycle Paint. Thank you very much. Cheers.